More details are emerging about the tragic sinking of the Bayesian Superyacht, and officials are starting to develop some pretty confident theories. According to Italian outlet La Repubblica, when authorities in the town of Termini Imerese interrogated 51-year-old James Cutfield, captain of the Bayesian Superyacht, the New Zealander mentioned that he didn't see the storm coming. The fact that the nearby vessel didn't sink has raised suspicion that the cause was localized in nature. Given the erratic weather situation with storms, many are pointing fingers at a waterspout, a phenomenon characterized by a whirling column of water and mist. Tornadic waterspouts can either move from land to water bodies or form directly over water, and are often joined by strong winds, hail, and occasionally lightning. The tornadic waterspouts that triggered the Bayesian tragedy are said to have emerged from the recent wave of storms that have hit the Italian coastline recently, causing severe damage in some areas.
When they hit, you are second best. It doesn't matter whether you are the Titanic or you're this super yacht or you're a little dinghy.
The biggest danger posed by waterspouts is what experts refer to as the knockdown effect, where sufficiently strong winds or waves hit a ship with enough force that it damages the mast. The Bayesian had a mast standing at 75 meters, which could have played a crucial role here, as a nautical expert told the New York Times. In this case, having a tall aluminum mast would not make it the safest port to be in case of a storm. Strong winds are said to have pushed the mast, triggering the whole event in the first place. According to the report, witnesses saw a small tornado-like column during the unexpected storm that ended up sinking the Bayesian. The International Center for Waterspout Research also claims to have recorded 18 waterspouts close to Italy, adding that one of them may have been responsible for the yacht accident.
They went flat on the water, and then down.
At a press conference, however, Italian prosecutors suggested that it was also possible the ship had been sunk by a downburst, an intense blast of wind that rapidly descends from a storm cloud. The Bayesian's mast was one of the biggest in the world, and questions are being raised as to whether it was partially responsible for the incident. However, the maker of the ship disagrees with the notion. In an interview with Sky News, Giovanni Constantino, the CEO of the Italian Sea Group which owns Bayesian's builder, Perini Navi, told the outlet that the core structural components of such ships are, quote, unsinkable bodies. He described vessels like the Bayesian as the safest in the most absolute sense, further adding that there were no inherent issues with the construction and design of the superyacht. Speaking with local outlet Corriere della Sera, Constantino blamed the accident on human error. He questioned why the crew was unaware of the approaching storm despite it being predictable. Noting that the whole turn of events was predictable, Constantino questioned the survivor testimonies, adding that claims of the ship capsizing within seconds don't make sense given the kind of fail-safe measures built into the Bayesian. He told the outlet, "A series of activities had to be done to avoid finding ourselves in that situation. As the commander of the ship, I would have moved, but even if for some reason I had to stay there, I would have managed those weather conditions, which, let's face it, weren't that crazy." On Saturday, August 24th, BBC reported that Italian prosecutors were opening a manslaughter investigation, though they didn't name a suspect. In his interview, Constantino claimed that the hatch was certainly open and that there may have been other similar mistakes that allowed water to come inside. As Sam Jefferson, editor of Sailing Today, told Daily Mail, "I would have said that the boat got hit very hard by the wind. It was pinned over on its side. I imagine all the doors were open because it was hot, so there were enough hatches and doors open that it filled with water very quickly and sank like that." Nautical design professor at Milan Polytechnic University, Andrea Roddi, also shared similar concerns, as Reuters explained. Roddi suggested that one or more portholes, windows, or other openings may have been left open, broken, or smashed by the waterspout, letting in water.
The vessel probably took on a lot of water very quickly and went down to the bottom, and that is nightmaric.
Based on photo analysis, Sky News mentioned the presence of air conditioning in rooms aboard the Bayesian, but some experts note that due to hot temperatures outside, guests may have left the windows and portholes open. Just 4 days before the Bayesian sank, the Mediterranean Sea recorded its highest ever sea surface temperatures. Speaking with CNN, Italian climate expert Luca Mercalli confirmed waters around the Sicilian coast were hotter than their usual levels. The final theory about the Bayesian sinking is linked to the keel, the structural beam that is responsible for maintaining a ship's stability. The Bayesian featured a retractable keel system so that it can be pulled up and allow the ship to dock in areas where the water levels are low. However, according to some experts, poor decision-making in the face of challenging weather may have contributed to the tragedy. The wreckage of the superyacht was discovered at a depth of around 50 meters, which is not shallow, and that means there was no need for the keel to be retracted. But according to certain reports, it was, quote, partially retracted, and investigators are now trying to establish details about the ship's keel at the time of the event. However, owing to the Bayesian's engineering, it seems it wouldn't have played any key role in how the ship actually sank. As a spokesperson for the Italian Sea Group told The Telegraph, even without the keel completely out, the ship is stable and only a massive entry of water could have caused the sinking. So far, no conclusive report has emerged, and we'll have to wait until local investigations dig up evidence and establish how the events unfolded.